From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina-Navidad. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says a U.S. threat to withhold some weapons would not prevent Israel from continuing its offensive in Gaza. Netanyahu indicated that his military might proceed with an invasion of the city of Rafah, where some 1.3 million Palestinians have sought refuge during the Israel-Hamas war. Israel says Rafah is the last stronghold of Hamas. A pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of Toronto has grown this week to more than 100 tents. Protesters are calling on the university to disclose ties with the Israeli government and divest from Israeli companies as the war rages on. Ontario's Colleges and Universities Minister Jill Dunlop says she had a phone conversation with the president of U of T last night and asked about the university's plan to end the encampment.
I want to ensure that all students, faculty are safe. We're approaching the graduation season, and I don't want to see families intimidated and not attending graduation because of the situation that's happening.
Concerns have been raised about anti-Semitism on campuses as pro-Palestinian encampments are set up at several Canadian schools, including McGill University in Montreal and the Universities of Ottawa and British Columbia. The trial of an admitted serial killer in Winnipeg has heard from the accused himself. Jeremy Skibicki was arrested in the death of one woman in 2022. In a videotaped interview with police released at his trial, Skibicki tells officers he killed 3 other people too.
I was driven to do stuff like this because I was so spent emotionally. I killed 4 people.
The defense had admitted Skibicki killed 4 women, but they want him found not criminally responsible due to mental illness. British Columbia's public safety minister says police and cybersecurity experts are investigating what he says was a very sophisticated attempt to breach provincial government information.
Mike Farnworth says there's no evidence that any sensitive information, such as health records, has been accessed or compromised. He says their first priority is to protect the information, so for now they aren't revealing more details about the breach.
That's one thing I can confirm, that this has not been a ransomware incident.
Farnworth says they've been told by security experts that had government not upgraded the system 2 years ago, they wouldn't have even known the breach attempt was happening. Terry Theodore, The Canadian Press.
An expert says social media posts are turning up the volume on the ongoing beef between hip-hop superstars Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Dalton Higgins wrote a biography of Drake. Higgins says competition lies at the heart of hip-hop, but thousands of posts are amplifying the feud. Canadian superstar Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber announced on Instagram that they're expecting their first child. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, former Toronto Maple Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe has posted a video on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, thanking front office staff and players hours after the NHL team announced his firing. He also had praise for the team's passionate fans.
Leafs Nation, you deserve your Stanley Cup. Your passion at home and on the road is unmatched. It's an incredible honor to coach the Maple Leafs, to try to deliver for you.
Keefe was fired after 5 seasons in charge following the Leafs' defeat to Boston in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The New York Rangers take a 6-game postseason winning streak into Game 3 of their second-round series with the Hurricanes tonight in North Carolina. Also tonight, the Colorado Avalanche take a 1-0 lead into Game 2 of their series with Dallas. The first-ever Professional Women's Hockey League semifinals continue tonight as Montreal opens a best-of-5 series at home against Boston. From the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina-Navidad.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.